Alright folks, up to scenario 3 here from the Rise of Red Skull campaign, even though we're not playing it in campaign mode technically. But yeah, we're just continuing on with the two-handed solo with Captain America and Iron Man. So let's jump straight in. Let's see what we got here. The setup. Set each captive ally aside out of play. Search the encounter deck for Hydra Patrol and put it into play and shuffle the encounter deck. Yeah, I probably should say they were up to the Taskmaster. This is the third one. I don't think I mentioned that. So we have Hydra Patrol in. And we have our 4 guys here. So they are the captives. We shuffle that and we shuffle this. And with that we go over to 1B. So the notorious Taskmaster has been appointed Hydra's chief of police. His top priority is hunting down the outlaw heroes. Forced response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose to either place 1 threat here or take 1 damage. Excuse me. And then of course, Taskmaster himself, scheme of 1, attack of 2 with 13 hit points per person, which in this case goes to 26. His forced response. After a player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons on that card. Hydra Patrol, side scheme. Hydra soldiers perform routine patrols to maintain control of their territory. When defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play engaged with them, and then shuffles the encounter deck. So we are in an okay state there. Let's go to the mulligans. We'll start with Captain America. And the first thing I will do is probably get rid of the shield. Get rid of the shield block. Maybe get rid of this too. And I'll hold on to these 3. So mulligan, the shield, shield block, this. And then we'll get rid of keep the other 3. Done. Okay, now that's still not much more of a better hand. But let's go to Iron Man. Let's see what he has. Love the energy and the Stark Tower. Like Pepper Pots, don't like the rest. So let's get rid of 1, 2, 3 here. And with that, better? Not great, but better. With that now, let's go over to Captain America and begin turn number 1. Alright, so I think we can get... Oh, no, we'll do the setup there for him, which is we'll get our shield back, which goes back into our hand. That's something at least. Now, we can afford to get Mockingbird out for 1 cheaper. But there's little else that we can do, so maybe that's what I'll do in this instance. I'm going to maybe use Honorary Avenger and Avengers Assemble to get Mockingbird out. After she enters play, stun an enemy. So we will stun Taskmaster. I'll flip over. With that done, I have to discard the top card of the encounter deck as per this response and take damage equal to the number of icons. It's 2. 1, 2. Done. Then, excuse me, I'll thwart for 2 from this guy. I will use a Power of Leadership to get the shield into play. And I don't know if the Quinjet is worth me holding on to, so I'll actually discard that to ready myself up and do another 2 damage here. And when this is defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play, engaged with them, and shuffles the encounter deck. So this is gone, and now let's look for our Hydra minion. I think I know exactly the ones I want. I think this is the one that includes the Insight Recruit or whatever they're called. Let's look at the minions that we have available to us. We have Hydra Hunter, we have the Regular, and the Soldier. I think this is the guy to bring in. And I think that's that. Let me just check that was each player searches. Yeah, it wasn't each hero, so that's fine. These are the guys that come out and puts it into play. So they aren't revealed and they don't get their insight, which is good. I don't mind that. And I can't really do anything else. So I may just use Mockingbird to hit Taskmaster for 1. And of course she gets her thing there. Even though, you know what now? Let's put it on this guy. When I defend against him, I can use the Retaliate to take him out of play. So that's fine. Let's go over to Iron Man. What can we do? We're going to have a slow turn here, but we're going to go energy to get this guy into play. Then I'm going to use my Futurist ability, looking at the top 3 cards. And really what I want is, yes, that's what I want. I want some tech. And, in fact, if I don't use tech, if I put that in here, then I can pull that as well. So I'll take the Repulsor Blast. I'll put the tech in here. Actually, we'll put this in first and then put that in, which is fine. Then I'll exhaust this, choose a player, myself. That player returns the topmost tech. This is the topmost tech, and that goes back into my hand. Right. This now, I think we'll go Tenacity and Genius to get Pepper Potts into play. Exhaust Pepper Potts to generate the resource of the top card of your discard in your discard pile. So, oh, does that count as 2? That's interesting. Doesn't matter anyway at this point. But I will use these 2, and I will assume that it's, yeah, they'd be in there first anyway. And to pay for this, my armor, which will be 6. Done. I'm not going to flip down, I think, at this point. We're leaving ourselves a little bit exposed. But, excuse me, 24 on this, that shouldn't threat out in 1 turn, unless we have a really bad turn. So with that, I'm going to go to the villain phase, and we'll orchestrate this from Captain America's side of the table. 2 goes onto the main scheme. And then with this, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player on hero form must choose to either place 1 threat here or take 1 damage. So Captain America will opt to put a threat on the main scheme. He would then attack Captain America, but he does not. He'll get rid of his stun instead. This guy will attack us. I think it might be, yeah, I'll defend against this. Keep my hit points. So he hits for 2. I defend for 2. No damage. I defend for 3. Excuse me with this. So no damage is done, and then we retaliate back, which does kill him. Lovely. And next one, he's going to scheme. He's scheming for 1 plus this, which will do 2. And then this guy schemes to add an additional 1 onto it as well. Okay. We're not in an awful state. 1 goes to Captain America, and 1 goes to Tony. Captain America has to deal with a combat knife, which attaches to the villain. That's going to give him piercing and a +1, so he's now hitting for 3. And we have to spend a mental and a physical to get rid of this. Tony's card is a Hydra sidearm. Attached to the villain, he's getting another +1. And he gets ranged, so he can avoid our retaliates. And we need to do a mental and a physical to get rid of this. Okay. Right, we're not in deep water, but let's see what we can do. With that said, let's go to the next phase. Here, turn number 2, hero phase, and it's going to be Tony taking the lead. So what can Tony do? Power gauntlets, love it. But would our Avengers Mansion be a better option? I'm thinking it might, because I can actually recall that with the Stark Tower, if we use that to pay for it. And then we could get an additional card draw here. I think I'm going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4 to play the Avengers Mansion. When I play the Avengers Mansion, I'm actually going to exhaust it. To choose a player, I choose myself. That player draws a card. I want to draw a card for myself. Tony is going to do the top 3. 1, 2, 3 from his Futurist. What will I take? I will take... I think I'll take the Rocket Boots. I've dumped the other 2. Now, I exhaust this and I'll grab, look at all cards. What's going to be on here? It will be my gauntlets. That works for me. Now, what can I afford? I can't afford the boots. I can afford both. So let's use the helicarrier to pay for the boots. And then I'll use Pepper Potts and the Supersonic to get my gauntlets out. Now, I have four hand size now. I think it might be worth flipping up. It's not ideal, but yeah, maybe that's the play. Maybe flipping up now is the play. Or will we sit down for another turn? Ooh. I think we'll flip up. Let's do that. So we have the response from Taskmaster, which in this case will be to take 0 damage. We lucked out there. I'm going to do 1 damage to the regular, and then I'm going to exhaust this to do another damage to the regular, getting him out of play. And we'll flip over to Captain America, see what he is looking at from here. I'd like to get rid of some of these cards, but what can I do? I mean, if I use these 2 to get that into play, I really can afford to only get rid of 1. Yeah, we'll be having a slow turn this turn, but maybe that's what we'll do. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this and this. That is a physical and a mental to get rid of the sidearm. And then I'm going to use a physical. I'm going to discard this as a mental. Not discard it, but spend it as a mental because it's wild to get rid of the knife. I'll discard this to ready myself up. I may thwart for 2 to keep that. Can I? There we go. And will I hit for 1 or will I thwart for 1? I think we'll hit for 1. Do 1 here. And with that, we'll call it a day. Right, let's go to turn 2, villain phase. We'll orchestrate this from Captain America's side again because he has control of the main cards. 2 goes on to the main scheme, and then after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose to either place 1 threat or take 1 damage. I'm going to place threat for both of them. Now, he's going to hit Captain America, who will defend in this instance. Now, we have a shield block in case we need it. Do we want to do that? When you would take any amount of damage. So I can choose to do this a little after. So let's see what this is doing. 2 plus 1. He's hitting me for 3, so I don't take any damage. So I'm not really worried about that. So that's good. We'll retaliate back for 1 from the shield. He's now going to hit Tony, and I think we'll actually put Mockingbird in play for this one. Try to keep Tony available. 2 plus 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That does defeat Mockingbird, but that's all right. And then our next card, Tony's going to get the first one, and in the second instance, we'll give that to Captain America. And the first one is a concussion grenade. You're stunned, so let's do exactly that. Let's stun. I have to just jump over to his side of the table to do that. Stun and take 1 damage. Done. That is the concussion grenades resolved. And then the next card is the photographic reflexes. Attached to Taskmaster, forced response. When a player attacks Taskmaster, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Taskmaster and deal an equal amount of damage to that player, that player's identity instead. Then discard photographic reflexes. Okay, so that is not the worst. Let's go to the next turn, and Steve is taking the lead. No. What do I do with this? I think maybe let's minimize what we can do. Is this an action? We could... Can't, can I? Because of the stunned. I was going to say, could we call an action from Iron Man? Which we can do. But really and truly, that's only going to give him the get rid of the stun. So what I'll do is I'll discard the shield block to ready up. Then I'll attack for 2, which will be cancelled by this, and I will take 2 consequential, or not consequential, but 2 from this, which then discards, excuse me, the photographic reflexes. And from there, I'll do 1, 2, 3 to play another heroic strike, deal 6 damage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll add stun to that. We did use a physical from Wonder Man, which does pay for that. There's very little else I can do from this side of things. Let's run over to Tony. Now I should have 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have another 3 cards here. I'll exhaust this to give myself another card. Does that change what I want to do? Not massively. But she's a resource generator. So I could use this and chase them down to get the arc reactor into play. And I could play Supersonic Punch, doing 4 damage, but that's not really great, is it? I'll exhaust this anyway to get rid of my stun, because that's an attack action. I'll thwart for 2 off of this. Just take control of that for a moment. I'll exhaust this to ready myself up, and I'll do another thwart again. Now, what's more important? 4 damage here, or plus 1 damage for the next few turns. I hate losing this and not having the this. I should have an extra hit point, shouldn't I? So I have 9. I haven't taken any damage, so I think the rocket boots would be giving me an extra hit point. If I'm wrong there, hopefully it won't change too much, but I think I missed giving myself that. I'm going to use the Supersonic Punch. 1, 2. Let's use this. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. 1, 2. Let's take control. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's not brilliant, but look, we have what we have. Let's go to the next phase. I'll orchestrate this from Iron Man's side now because he has control of these. So the first things first, 2 goes onto this, and then I'm going to put another 2 onto it from the forced responses. Now, he would attack Captain America, but he doesn't, so we're getting rid of this. Right, Iron Man also should have his thing adjusted. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. I should have an extra 1 there as well. Okay. Excuse me. So, what was that? He attacked Cap. Cap just shrugged it off because we had the stun in play. Now he's going to attack again, but Cap will, jump in front of this one. Helping his buddy Iron Man in this case. Do we have any defensibles? We don't. So he's hitting for 2 plus an additional what? 2 to nothing. 2 plus nothing. So we've defended for 3. We take no damage. And of course our retaliate strikes back for 1. Right? And that's fine. Now let's put the first encounter card goes to Cap. The second encounter card goes to Iron Man. What's Captain dealing with? He's got a captured by Hydra side scheme. Perfect. Place 1 random set aside captive ally face down beneath this scheme. When the scheme would be defeated, the player who defeated it takes that ally into their hand and removes the scheme from the game. Beautiful. Beautiful. We want to be seeing these. We want, not free allies, but cheap allies. And then the next one is the Hydra Hunter. 2, 2, and 3. Hydra Hunter attacks, gain piercing, and ranged. Oh, lovely. So, with that said, we are now into turn 4 hero phase, and Iron Man is going to take the lead for us. Let's jump over here. What can we do? I don't have a lot that I can do. But, well, let's use the Avengers Mansion. Excuse me, draw a card. Now, what is our play? I think I would like to try and threat this out of the game. So I'm going to go 2 to this. Take control. 2. Right, I'm going to exhaust with the arc reactor and do another 2. 1, 2. Now, Pepper, first aid, and maybe the uppercut are going to pay for Mockingbird, who, once enters play, stuns. We'll stun the villain. And then she's going to thwart the last one off of this. Place one random set-aside captive ally face down beneath this scheme. So I haven't done that, but look, I think the idea is still the same. Here are the 4. Let's grab one of those. Oh, I'll just take control of that. That comes out. It's where am I? Player 2. It's going to be White Tiger. She goes into my hand, and this is removed from the game. So let's go to the removed parts. Here we are. Done. Ah, damn. This take controlling thing can be a bit tedious, but unfortunately that's the nature of it. But we're all right here. Now, White Tiger, what does she do? 3 thwart, 1 attack. After you play White Tiger from your hand, spend a mental resource to remove 3 threat from a scheme. I rather like that because we could use White Tiger now. She comes in for free. We'll spend Tigra as the... Why is that not working? There we go. As her response, and we'll remove 3 threat from a scheme, which will be the main one. 1, 2, 3. She then thwart for another 3. 1, 2, 3. Lovely. That's good. Now, I'm going to use the boots and this to give myself aerial, and then exhaust powered gauntlets. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. Boom. Let's get that done. And I'm kind of done at that point. Maybe Cap can do something with this guy in a minute for us. But he should have stunned, shouldn't he? That didn't work. Hang on. I didn't have control there. So Mockingbird coming in gave him stunned, which I got that there now at the end. No, with that done, we're on this side of the game. We're over for Cap. What do we do? Ugh, not a lot. We're not caught between a rock and a hard place just yet, but we're not in a good spot either. Ready each Avenger character you control until the end of the phase. Each Avenger character in play gets +1/+1. That's interesting, but it is expensive. I played that for 4. I only get a ready for myself and a +1/+1. I think maybe have I don't think I've actually gone through any allies yet. I've got Wonder Man. He's not great. He's okay. He's not great. I was just thinking about making the call to see if we could pull somebody in, but we don't really have that facility. I'm going to make the call to ready myself up. Then I might attack. Yeah, I'm going to attack the boss. I'll take 2 off of him. That's cheap. And then I'm going to use Avengers Assemble and the Strength to get Agent 13 into play. And when she enters play, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Yep, that's off the main one. And then she's just going to punch for another 1 here to let's take the Hunter out of play. I think we're in a fairly clean position here now. So we have the Genius. We're at 5. Tony is taking a little while to build, but with that, let's just go to the next phase. Villain phase of turn number 4. Is that right? Yeah. Turn number 4. Let's go. 2 onto this and then an additional 2 from the forced response. He's going to attack Tony. He does not. This gets discarded instead. Can I get rid of that? There we go. He's now going to attack Cap. Cap will defend. Yeah, I think we'll keep her open for a bit. He's attacking for 2 plus 1. Hits for 3. I've defended for 3. No damage is taken by me, and we retaliate back by 1. Now, bad cards. Tony gets the first. Steve gets the second. Tony, what are you dealing with? You got Mimicry. When revealed, hero, discard the top 5 cards of your deck if any attack cards were discarded this way. If an attack card was discarded this way, excuse me, Taskmaster attacks you. So let's deal this on Tony's side. Over here. 1, 2, 3. That's an attack. We get an attack. So that would bunk though. So I'm only doing those. We'll shuffle those in. Because I've decked out, I'm going to be getting a second card, and he is going to be attacking me. I'm happy to take this. I've got enough. I think I've got enough health here. So we'll take this absolutely directly. 2, 3. I take 3 damage, and that's done. Now, because we're still turning cards over, and we haven't finished on this, I believe the decking out card would still be active, so I'm going to resolve that now. In this case, the villain minion attack you. Okay, so he's attacking me once more, and I'm still fairly healthy, so I will I'll take this to the phase again. 2 plus 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's not awful. It's not great, it's not awful. Now let's head back to Captain America's side and see what he's dealing with. Shadows of the Past. Alright, we've been getting away with it, I think, for the last couple of games, not having to deal with this too heavily. So let's do exactly that. We have Baron Zemo coming into play and his hit squad. I'll deal with those shortly, but first we'll shuffle these in. And now let's get these out. What is happening here? Hit squad. Baron Zemo leads a Hydra task force into the city to hunt down Avengers. That's quite fitting, actually, in this instance. Is he a lieutenant to, like, Taskmaster? Or is he maybe the overarching villain? Or, I don't know. I'm going too deep into it now at this stage. When revealed in player order, each player discards the top card of the encounter deck and takes 1 damage for each boost icon discarded this way. In player order, so Cap goes first. I'm going to be taking 3 damage. And then he's going to be taking 2. So let's deal with that. 2 done. Now, are there other things happening here? He comes in with quick strike, so he is going to hit me for 3. And when he is engaged with you, you cannot thwart. So he's going to hit me for 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, that's not good. We are bleeding here, like. But let's see what we can do. So, first things first. Turn 5, hero phase, and we're dealing with Cap. Can I do anything here? I think maybe my best option is just trying to flip down and heal up, because we are hurting. Like, we are really, really hurting here. So I'm going to use a strength in numbers to ready myself with the can do this all day. I'm going to flip over and I'm going to go down to recover for 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now he has 5 hit points. I might use these 4 to get Hawkeye in. I think he's just a bit more durable than, well, is he? Maybe Hawkeye is the Hawkeye or Falcon. I think Falcon. Yeah, I'll stick with Falcon as my initial thought. 1, 2, 3, 4. That brings him in. After Falcon enters play, look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. For each treachery looked at this way, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Now that's not a thwarting action. So that bypasses Baron Zemo. So let's look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. I can't change anything about them, but let's see what's going on. Look at top 3. And we have 1 treachery. We only have 1 treachery. So that only removes 1 threat. I'll take it from the hit squad. Now, she is going to thwart for 2, again off of the hit squad, and then I think we'll get Falcon to punch Zemo for 2, and now we'll flip over to Tony's side of the table. Right, what can I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. I have my 5 cards. I'm going to exhaust this to get another card. Now, what do I feel like here? There's a part of me really wants to get Nick out, and that's giving us a bit more draw. But do I want to do that overall? I mean, I'm losing some tech items here if I do that. Well, maybe I could flip down and recall these back. Well, first things first. Let's use White Tiger to thwart off the hit squad. And then that's out of play. Lovely. Now, yeah, I think I'm going to use Nick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nick comes into play. He's going to draw 3 cards for me. 2, 3. Oh, that's lovely. That's very nice. I'm going to use an energy to get the powered gauntlets into play. So let's build my mini Iron Man. Here we go. Not quite right, but we're nearly there. So we've done that. I'm going to exhaust this and spend my rocket boots as a mental resource, and that's going to give me aerial. So I'm going to use the powered gauntlet to do 2 more damage to Zemo, and then I'll do the same thing here, use this and do another 2 damage, getting Zemo out of play. I'm thinking of thwarting in a lot of this. I think I'll thwart 2 off the main scheme. Get that low. I think we'll have Nick do 2 damage. I'll exhaust and ready myself up once more. And then thwart another 2 off this maybe. And I think I'll stay open for this. I think I'll stay up for now, because we have a block with Nick, and then I'll go down the next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my hand size is now 6. So I'm steamrolling here, like, so we're good. I am missing the helmet, which I can't get because I have the rocket boots in play, but as the top card, so that would be the one that would be recalled. But hey, that's okay. Yeah, let's move on. I think let's roll over to the next phase. Villain phase, turn number 5. Right, 2 goes on the main scheme. Now only one of us is in hero form, so only one has to go on this for the excuse me, forced response. He's then going to attack, and we're going to throw Nick in front of it. And this will be 2 plus 1. He's hitting for 3. That does defeat Nick, but that was pretty much the entire purpose there. Oh, I should have gone the other way around. Apologies. That should have been Captain America's thing, but let's deal with that here now. 2. He's hitting for 1. And if you're in hero form, take 1 additional damage. Otherwise, place 1 threat on the main scheme. So to correct that, he would have taken 1 from this, then 2 would have been on this. I think that is correct. I may be wrong in my thing there, but look, it's not game ending, so I'm all right with that. Let's get our cards. The order was out of turn, but I think we've corrected. Now, in this case, he's getting a shield. This attaches to Taskmaster. He gains Retaliate 1. I must exhaust my hero and spend a mental and a physical resource to discard this card. Okay, and then the next one is Hunted by Hydra, Treachery, Insight 1, so that's 1 on the main scheme. And then when revealed, each player in hero form takes 1 damage and discards 1 card at random from their hand. So that is going to be Iron Man taking 1 damage, and then random discard. It is random, yeah? Random. Random discard, chased him down. Could have been worse. So, with that, we're on to turn number 6, player phase, and Iron Man is leading the charge. We're going to exhaust this, draw a card. And now, I have a mental, and I have a physical here. So I think that will be our play. I'm going to exhaust and do these 2 to get rid of that shield. Now, I'll exhaust this to ready up. I'll take 2 from the main scheme, and then White Tiger will take another 3. That does defeat her though, and we'll put her into the encounter, into my deck, I should say. Now, you might as well hit for another 1. I'm tempted to flip down, but I don't think that might be the play. I think we'll just go for the Repulsor Blast. Let's do this. I'm going to use the Hellcarrier to play a Repulsor. Deal 1 damage to an enemy. 1 is done. And discard the top 5 cards of your deck and count the energy resources discarded. 1. So that's 1 energy. 4. 2 energy. 5. 3 energy. So that's going to do perfect 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have him into his next form. Let's deal with that next villain. Yep. Are we done? Oh, hang on. I have to confirm that from Cap's side. There we are. I was wondering why we're getting no change there. So let's check what's happening. When revealed, deal each player an encounter card. So starting with Tony. Here's Tony's encounter card. And then Cap's encounter card. When revealed, yeah. Force response, same thing. When you change to hero form, take damage from a boost icon after you discard the card. We had fairly good success there. I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. Let's do another repulsor blast. 1 damage to the enemy. And we'll discard the top 5. 1, 2, 3. So that's 1, 4. That's not a discarded energy. So, right. So we're only doing an additional 2. That's a bit weak, but we're all right. Let's do this for another 1, and this for another 1. Okay. I think it might be time to flip down. That's Tony. I've got very little hit points left, and I don't trust what's going on. So I'll exhaust this. Choose the topmost tech upgrade. Look at all of these. Do we have some tech here? It would have been the boots, I believe. That would have been the one that was put in last. So that's fine. Don't love that, but don't care. And what I'll actually do is use pepper pots to generate this to pay for the additional boots. That'll give me another hit point. And then I'll use the futurist to look at 3 cards. Take one of those. What would I like in this case? I think I'll take the punch. Discard these 2. We're getting another card for decking out. This could be bad for us, but that's the risk of the game. Right, done. Over to Cap. What do we got? First thing Cap's going to do, probably heal for 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we might flip up. And then I have to discard a card and take 1 damage. Right, done. Now, I think maybe, what is our best option here? I'll use these 2. I'll use energy to get the super serum in, or the super soldier serum in. Then I might use a shield toss. Discard X cards from your hand. So I'm only going to discard 1. Return the shield to my hand and do 4 damage. 1. Let's just take control. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. I'll then use strength in numbers to get the shield back into... Maybe I'll keep strength in numbers for now. I'll use this to get the shield back into play. And I think we'll just thwart. Or no, we'll attack. 2 from this guy. And I'm going to do... Yeah, we'll get her to thwart 2 off the main scheme. Alright, I could then get rid of strength by numbers to ready myself up with the I can do this all day. I'll hit him for another 2. And with that then, we'll go on to the villain phase. Right. Did we deck out? I think I think Iron Man decked out, right? Yep. So Iron Man is getting another card. So this is the first card. This will be the second card. That's fine. Let's go back and orchestrate from Cap's side of the table. 2 goes on the main scheme. After the resolving... Yep, so I'll put another 1 on here as Cap is the only one that needs to resolve it. He's then going to attack me. I think she should be out of play. We'll put Falcon on this. He can take this hit. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That does defeat him. And then there's a scheming coming on, which is going to be 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Done. Now, let me just make sure that didn't fresh either, it didn't know. And then the third card for Iron Man this turn. And then the next... Oh, shoot. That should be... I can respond to that, and that's there. And this is the second card for Cap. So, I'm going to jump over to Iron Man's side of the table to deal with this. Part 1. Gain Surge. Part 2. When revealed, each Hydra minion engaged with a hero attacks that hero. Each player who was not attacked this way searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play with them, engaged with them. Shuffle the encounter deck if it was searched. We know what we want. I want to get out the regulars. So, is that each hero? So the only hero would be Captain America. No, we'd have to do both of them because it's each player who was not attacked this way. Nobody was attacked this way. So let's take control of that and take control of this. And we just get our regulars because they're nice and cheap. One for Cap, one for Iron Man. And then we'll close this. So these two are done. Now, next card. It's a Hydra Soldier. Guard when defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card. And then the next one is another captured by Hydra. That's okay. We like seeing those. Now, Cap. Let's deal with yours. That was a hefty turn. I'm unsure which one was which, so I'll go with this one first. We get a guard. And the next one is photographic reflexes, of course. So there we go. All right, guys, I'm going to take a short break here now and pause and come back to this shortly. And I'll talk to you in a few. All right, folks, here we are back again now. We're into turn number 7, the hero phase, and Cap is going to be taking us through this. And would you look at that? That's a lovely draw right there. Now, I can't afford an awful lot, but maybe what I'm doing, we're getting Squirrel Girl out, and she is going to be hitting for not a lot, but she does do 1 damage to each enemy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be the cheapest 5 we could get. And maybe if Iron Man is going to be a bit generous, we could get a stun out as well with the heroic strike. So I think I'm going to do that, right? So I'm going to use the action here from Captain America. Exhaust the Avengers Mansion to choose a player. That player draws 1 card. I said Captain America, I meant Iron Man. You know what I mean. I'm confusing myself now at this stage. So I'm going to use that to give Captain America an additional card. Then we're going to use the strength from the Super Soldier Serum and the Avengers Mansion, or the Avengers Tower in this instance, to play Squirrel Girl. After she enters play, deal 1 damage to each enemy. 1. Oh, let's take control here. 1 here. Another 1 here. Another 1 here. Another 1 here. And a 1 off the main dude. When a player attacks, so that isn't an attack, so that doesn't do anything to this photographic reflexes. I'm wondering how that would interact with squirrels anyway, because I'm assuming that's what this action is, just a bunch of squirrels coming out and attacking a load of Hydra soldiers. So, and to photographic reflex a squirrel probably isn't in his remit. I'm getting off topic. What do I do next? We do have to use her to at least kill one of the Insight guys. I think that's probably the play there. Now, Cap, what are you going to do? Do you kill the other Insight guy? Or do you start doing some damage to this guy here? I think maybe I'll try and get rid of this dude here, doing 2 damage to him. And then I'm going to use Heroic Strike, spending these 3 cards to do that. And of course there was a physical on that as well. So we do get the stun on the main man. 1, 2... Oh, I can't, can I? Because he's got guard. Oh. Oh, no. That's not ideal. Damn. So, let me rethink this for a second. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I suppose I have to use it on somebody. Or I don't, actually, because I could ready up. I can ready up with the Quinjet. Then I could kill this dude. When defeated, the engaged player, deal the engaged player an encounter card. Right, so that's that part done. I get an encounter card for this. I am sitting on these things, so I may give Squirrel Girl this just to give her an extra card or an extra hit point. She already is an Avenger. Can't do much here. Yeah, I think that maybe is... That's not the best play, but it's something done. I'll hold on to this till the next turn and we'll see what we can do. Let's flip over to Iron Man and let's have a look at this. So, I have my 6. I'm going to exhaust this. No, I won't. What I'll do is I will do a Futurist. Look, top 3. 1, 2, and 3. What do I keep? What do I get rid of? I think the energy is the play. Really and truly now, and we get rid of these 2. Right, with that part done, I don't have a tech, so I can't really do anything with the Stark Tower. I may recover for 3, and then I'll flip down, or flip up to Hero phase. Flipping up to Hero, I do have to take a... I do have to take this damagey thing here, which will be 3. Oh my god, it wasn't even worth my time to recover. With the sword. Now, do I do a first aid on myself? Try to recover a little bit more because this could end our game here. Or do we try and do something else? Like Tigra comes out. She can attack and defeat a minion. That does give her a heal, which is giving her a bit more longevity. Or do we exhaust this to ready myself? And then I'll take 2 off of this guy. I don't think there's anything stopping me from doing that. Guard is stopping the villain from being attacked. I'll exhaust this, and I'll spend the first aid, I think, to give myself aerial. And then I'll do 2 damage to maybe this guy. And then I'll do the same over here, 2 damage to this guy. And at least that gets that out of play. And then, of course, well, maybe not. Let's leave her open. Because if we bring Tigra in now for the 3... Yeah, she could deal with that. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to bring Tigra in. She attacks for 2 onto this guy, defeating him, and of course I get an encounter card for, excuse me, his defeat. All right, so she would take a consequential from that, but then after she defeats a minion, she'd heal that 1. Now I have aerial, so I could go these 2, maybe not even. You know what? I could use her. I could use Pepper Potts' resource and tenacity to play a superpower punch. Or supersonic punch to deal 8 damage. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't. I don't want to do that at all because that will reflect back at me. So Mockingbird will hit for 1. This will go on to him. When a player attacks Taskmaster, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Taskmaster and deal an equal amount of damage to that player's identity instead. So I assume as the player, that is me and everything I control. So that's 1 to that. And then, of course, Mockingbird's 1 would deflect and it will hit Iron Man. Then this gets discarded. And I can use the Tenacity. Wasn't it? Tenacity was the other card in play that I had. And Pepper to play 1 of the supersonic punches to do 8 damage. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we're all right there. Now, she should also be able to play. So I know I made a few errors here, but I think we're all right in that instance. And we have a block or 2 available to us if it comes to that. So with that, let's go to the next phase. We're on to the villain phase of turn number 7. 3 is going on to the main scheme. I'll orchestrate it here from Iron Man's side of the table. And we'll put another 2 on it as well for the forced response being in hero phase. Now, he is going to attack Who's first? Captain America. Captain America will dive in front of this, try to save, or at least try to do something, I think. So he's hitting for 2 plus an additional 1, 3. No damage is done, but I retaliate back for 1, which is great. Now Iron Man as well, he should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I should be drawing a few extra cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we've got a good hand coming up. I think we have him this turn, I hope. Now, with that done, he's attacking Iron Man next. And I think maybe putting Squirrel Girl in front of this might be the play. Tigra has a bit more flexibility. Squirrel Girl has, yeah, she's only getting an extra hit point. I don't think that's ideal. So it's going to be 2 to 2, doing 4 damage, which does take care of Squirrel Girl. Right. Let's go back there now. That's that part done. And now the second encounter card, going to player 1 first. That's going to be on Steve. I'll just put that underneath. And then the second encounter card here for Iron Man, putting that underneath as well. Steve, what do you got to deal with? First card is a scheme. Okay. The scheme is 2 plus another thing. If you are in hero form, take 1 damage. Otherwise, place 1 threat. So I do have to take 1 damage as Steve. There we go. And the scheme was only 2. So that's not awful. So that's done. That's done with this. And then the next card is a Man Out of Time. You may flip to alter ego form, choose Exhaust Steve Rogers to remove Man Out of Time from the game, or discard half of the cards in your hand rounded down, and then discard the obligation. Well, the only thing I can do from that is discard my half the cards rounded down. So I have to get rid of 2 cards. And in this case, I'll be getting rid of Fearless Determined. No, I'll keep Fearless. I'll get rid of the Avengers Tower and maybe one of the Heroic Strikes. No, I'll keep the Heroic Strike and I'll get rid of Make the Call. So that's okay-ish. This gets discarded. Alright, so we weren't able to fully acknowledge that or get rid of it. Let's deal with Iron Man's encounter cards. The first one is another captured by Hydra, and then the next one is a cut off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. If no card were discarded this way, this card gains surge. I apologize, I'm actually slurping tea as I go here, so if you're hearing weird sounds, that's more than likely it. I will get rid of Stark Tower from this interaction. That does this. And we are now into what I hope to be the final turn. Turn number 8. The Iron Man is going to take the lead for us. Now, I'm going to use Pepper Pots to generate a resource. The resource is this mental. And I'm going to use this, exhaust that, and spend a resource. So this to this to this. That's giving me area. Alright. Now, I'm very tempted to go Nick Fury, but I may keep this. I may go... Can I? I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think that's the play here. 1, 2, 3, 4 to play Nick Fury. He comes into play, he's going to draw me 3 cards. Love it. Then I'm going to get White Tiger out. White Tiger, after you play a White Tiger from your hand, which I've just done, spend a mental resource. I'm not going to do that, but I will use her Thwart of 3 to get rid of this. This was removed from the game and we grab a captive. I know they should be the other way around. I think I pointed to that already, but I think just for the sake of it, I'll take control of this. And this is going to be Elektra, who goes into my hand. Right. I think we're flying here, guys. I think we have it under control. I can do 2 and 2. And then a 1 to get rid of this. Maybe I think I'm just overextending myself. Well, you know what? Let's try tidy it up. 2 from this, 2 from me, and 1 from Tigra. Clears this. This goes out of play, and we grab another where do we put this? This goes into that, and we grab another one of these guys who will go into my hand, and it's going to be Shang-Chi. Okay, lovely. So we've plenty of dudes to work with here. So like we do a supersonic punch, I ready up and I kill him. That's the end of the game, I think. So let's ready up with the arc reactor. I have what do we say? I have aerial already. So let's look at this. This is going to do 2 damage to him. This will do another 2 damage. I can punch for another 1. Then I could bring Elektra into play. She'll do another 3. I could bring Shang-Chi into play. He'll do another 2. Then I could play this to do an additional 8. So let's work these down, right? So Elektra comes into play for, well, not free, but yeah, for 0. We could spend a physical resource, which is this. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. That'll do 3 damage right here. She can then attack for a further 3. So that's 1. He is defeated. 2 more damage there. Shang-Chi comes into play. After you spend Shang-Chi, or after you play him, we can do an energy and that'll stun. I don't care about that. We'll just do another 2 damage. Then I spend these and do another 8 damage there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, he's well defeated at this point. I'm going to exhaust this, give Steve another card. What's happening over here? Not a whole lot, but we could use Fearless Determination to draw another card. And that gives me a +1. And then I could go 1, 2, 3 to play this. Do further 6 damage and stun. 1. Oh, take control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go, guys. I think that is more than enough damage to have taken out Taskmaster in that instance. Granted, I did have a couple of misplays there and things like that, but hopefully that's a relatively clean game. But saying that, I hope you enjoyed it. If you caught anything I didn't catch as I was playing, by all means throw it into the comments. But with that, I'll say thanks for watching and take care of yourself. See you in the next video, and bye-bye for now.